ASMR Tarot, and we're doing a pop-up paint night right now. If you're just watching this or joining in on the replay, there's a couple buttons you could push if you decide that you like this show. So we got a couple things here that I was like looking at. In some of my paintings, I realized that I've made the background too dark. Like here, it's a little too dark. So when the foreground comes above it, you have to really work a lot to get it to stand out. So this is kind of muddy against the background. So if you look at this, though, the background here is a bit lighter. I think I need to take a look at my color values here, rather than having your color value. Hello, Aziru, welcome. I'm just sort of looking at what I've done and seeing that I need to do something different, because that's what it looks like, that I need to shoot for like a background color value of like 6 or maybe 7, and then with the horizon here, with like the background portion, or where the horizon is at, in proportion over here, it's like 3 inches, and this is 12 inches tall, so that's like 1/4 of the way up with this one. And so then if we go over to this one here, and this is a 9x12, and so the horizon line is actually way too high, and so you're getting a now, granted, the sky and all these colors are fantastic. They're fantastic. So the gap in the trunk, it's not really done yet, Azuru. But I kind of paused at this point. Doggo, welcome. And so if you're looking at where the horizon line is, and this is a 9-inch, 9 inches here. Yeah, it was about 9 inches, a little bit less than 9. And I have my horizon at 4 inches down. So there's 6 inches of space down here. So I think it needs to be for the next one. I think it needs to be more like here, like maybe like 3.5 inches up. So I'm gonna put this one aside. Oh no, but thank you, Jacker, but that's not exactly what we're looking at. Oh, it's not a doggo. It's not dog, it's doggo. But anyway, so we're gonna start doing the other version of that other painting, and starting that tonight. And so but this one we're going to do is where the skyline is just full of light. So whereas that one, so I'm going to put my horizon line in at approximately that's like the 4 inches, about 4 inches up. So I'm going to use this piece of this tape here. I think maybe I might change it. Let's see. I don't know which. Maybe I think this one will be this way. I think this is the way we want it to be. So you got to go. All right. Well, anyway, so I'm gonna do this, and so there will be 6 inches of sky, and then 4 inches of water, just to try to rotate this a little bit so it has a little bit bigger, more of a by more of a 3D effect. So we got this tape here for making the horizon line, and I'm gonna make sure it's even. So let's just see about having it at that zone. That's 4 in a tad bit. So that's probably close enough. Let me just stand up here and take a look here where we're at. So I'm gonna have a much, maybe 4 1/4. No, because 4 1/2 is the halfway point. So 4 inches there. Okay. This is kind of a tutorial, Jacker. My younger me would absolutely love your name. That sounds like some kind of a how many times have I had Jakosoff and be my my names for characters and games and everything. And so I think this is gonna work. So looking coming down from the middle here. That's like 4 3/4 inch roughly. It's not exactly quite even, but 4 3/4, 4 3/4. This demonstration is gonna go for more than one day, because I'm not gonna be able to do this whole painting in there we go. So I'm just going to work on the sky here. So I think this will be good. And then so when we're going to be doing this, a sky. Well, hi, Sate. Hi, welcome. This is kind of a tutorial, Jacker, but I mentioned that I liked your name, your channel name. Okay, so what I'm going to start out doing first here, before we start, is I'm going to prep this canvas. Okay, so I run a variety show here, and I generally do paintings on Saturdays, but I'm starting this painting a little bit early this week, and so I'm going to start by laying down some gel medium down here. So this helps to reawaken the painting here. Where's that brush at? So I'm reawakening. I'm adding some gel medium down onto the underpainting. This will give it some paint, just a little bit something to stick to. And for starters, I'm just using 3 colors here. And oh, you're from Turkey. Okay, welcome, Sate from Turkey. Welcome. I don't know how many painting sessions this is going to take, but I'm going to do roughly 90 minutes tonight. It is I started about 10:15 p.m. Pacific time. I'm on the Pacific coast. And so I'm just going to give that a moment here. Oh, I'm going to need a hair dryer for this one. So I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. So I go back in, I look at the other painting. That was a, this was a, I don't know, I think it's a watercolor brush. So this is the image that we're going to be doing, but we're going to do a totally different set of colors here. So this is like, so I'm going to do, this next one is either a sunrise or a sunset. And also in it, the land is not going to come out so far. It's going to be a little bit more like this. And you'll have a bit of water, because this is a hell of a lot of water here. And so anyways, we're just tweaking, I'm tweaking a painting because, well, anyways, I don't really need to explain anything. So what I'm going to start doing is building the sky. I'm going to be adding a bunch of, first a little bit of white, and I'm going to just tap it in, and this is just to give depth to the sky. And so there's going to be a lot of, I'm going to try and do quite a few layers of paint here, and within the realm of using yellow, titanium white, yellow ochre, and I'm going to probably put some red in here as well. But I'm going to do that in a different layer. So this first layer, I'm just going to be adding just a bit of titanium white down. This is semi-transparent colors I'm using, with the exception of this primary yellow. Everything here is a transparent or semi-transparent. You know what, Log 21, I can't draw. I can only draw a stick figure too. I can't draw either. So you can, if painting is something you're interested in, you do not need to know how to do sketch work in order to do paintings. You know, because like sketch work and people, I don't have the motor skills in order to do faces or things like that. I'm not a surgeon, I wasn't a, and yet I'm painting my edges, so I'm gonna go put some of this white down in on the edges as well. I don't have much space underneath the camera, but I guess I'm keeping the same rhythms. So if I were painting this and it was not on camera, I would be listening to music right now. But since I don't, and I would probably be listening to something like Dream Pop or something like that. Now I'm going to be using a hairdryer to speed up the process of putting these layers down, because you kind of got to let things dry a little bit when you're doing, especially when you're using semi-transparent colors. Thank you for subscribing. All right, well, you can come back on Saturday night. I'm going to be revisiting this painting on Saturday at 9 p.m. But I'm working on Saturday, so I won't be doing any live Saturday afternoon. I probably will do a live tomorrow afternoon if I can. I don't know if I can or not. I probably won't. So the next time I'm going to come to this painting is Saturday, and I might actually finish it up on Sunday if I can. Yeah, probably that's probably the way it's going to be is Saturday, and I'll try to pop on early if I can. But if I can't, hello Oliver. You know what happened, Oliver? You know, I was like thinking about you the other day. What happened? I had a thing that would only happen the other day where I was doing a 4-hour live stream, and my phone battery went dead, and it just went blank, and I was just thinking about you, Oliver, and thinking, oh, I got 1% left on my phone, because that's what you always say that every time you come on to my show. But anyways, I'm gonna give this a little blow with the hairdryer. I'm gonna just mute the camera so I don't blast you out here. That's enough? You have 60%. Yeah, I started this thing with like 70%. So, and the phone's 2 years old. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to make I'm going to bring it up a shade and add in a little layer of this primary yellow into it. Okay. And we're going to want to do that kind of, we're just going to run it down here on the, actually it's just going to do this throughout the whole piece. And because right now we're just adding layers. So I will put the sun layer in soon, but towards the end of what we're going to be doing today. And I really want, what you want to do is when you use these underpaintings and you're doing these layers, is you want to keep adding layers and layers of paint until you get a sense of that the sky is just going on forever and ever and ever. And you can do that by doing layers, by adding layers and layers and layers of paint. I would be using my other palette, but it's all full of like watercolor paints that could be used for watercolor right now, so I don't feel like wasting those colors out, so I'm not using that palette. I'm gonna put this down here, paint the edges, and I'm just gonna work on the edges here. So the sun set, I'm thinking I'm gonna put the sun someplace like right in here. So my land is gonna go probably in so like in the other one, the land came clear out to here, but I think it needs to come closer to over here. I know but thanks for being here anyway for the time that you are, and I really, really appreciate that you're here. And so, all right, so let's go here, and we'll just let it get kind of whiter towards the edge end. Just a lighter color, lighter color, lighter color, lighter color. It's in there. Let's get kind of a big fluffy clouds. You skipped your sleep. Well, what time do you have to get up for school, Oliver? All right, let's just go move on and make another color in here, and we're going to add it in with just some of this yellow ochre. Just a little bit of that. And we'll put it in over here. It'll just kind of make some... I'm not going to really worry about anything right now. I'm not worried about anything. I'm just going to be layering these colors right on top. I'm going to do white after this. We'll have more yellow down by the horizon. More white. You have to get up at 6? That's just terrible hour you have to get up. But I do remember having to get up at that 6 o'clock hour. You know, Oliver, when I was in the 5th grade, my school burnt down right over Christmas break. And And then they shifted some things, and they started doing double shifting, and then from my 5th grade year on till halfway through my 8th grade year, I was on 8th, was it halfway, or no, I think it was like till 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. We did like a double shifting, and then for my like junior high, we double shifted with the high school students. The high school students went to the morning shift, and the junior high was on the afternoon shift. And so I got kind of set up for doing like being really more of a night person starting around the 5th grade. I don't know which one. I think it's going to be a sunset because it's going to have like more reddish colors in it. I think that's what it's going to be, more of a sunset. But it'll be interesting to see how this greenish gray, this greenish gray underpainting, how it affects the whole thing. I'm going to change to a different brush so I can run on, I can bring up the color a bit more. So this is a golden, a professional grade paint, and it's a semi-transparent color. So the so for instance, this color Titan Bluff, this is more opaque, and so less of those little black lines show through. Anyways, and so the secret to making great paintings comes with using lots and lots of layers of semi-transparent and transparent colors. And so trying to get things done with just one layer of paint is really difficult to make things look right. Because what we want is so I think I'm going to take this paint up here and make this more whiter up here. But we have a sky that's just full of light. Now, this may not work, but so what may be happening here is that we come down here and do multiple layers of paint, and then I let this thing sit overnight, and then tomorrow afternoon I work on the sky some more. So I'm not going to start putting in anything up here before I get the sky the way I want it to be. So the sun's going to be kind of right in here, and I'm going to be running some more reddish tones up here. But it's not realism. What we're looking for is, you have to remember that sometimes you are looking to achieve an effect and an emotion, and it's not necessarily, is it anything you ever see in nature? And that is okay too. You have to just remember that is okay to be abstract or to paint for emotion, for effect. And all this yellow, it may not work, but if you can get that, if you can get it to paint for, like I say, for emotion, for effect, you've done your job as a painter. If you can evoke emotion in your the person who looks at your painting. All right, Oliver, we'll see you the next time, but thank you for popping in for just a few minutes. All right. It's a little bit wet, so I'm going to dry it out a little bit before I run. Yes, Azuru. What's your question? So while you're formulating your question, I am going to give this a little heat here. Yeah, the 999 is an angel number. That's what it stands for, because I see repeat numbers everywhere. It's been going on for several years, a few years anyway. I don't see 999, but I see like 111, 111, 555. I see these are called angel numbers, and so 999 means like an end, means the completion of one cycle and the beginning of going on to the next cycle. So a brand new cycle starts at 111, and 999 is the end of a cycle. And so the meaning is that I had tried YouTube 2 times before this, and it wasn't very good, and I didn't have a good experience, and so I made this at first the 999 show, as this was the last time I was going to try YouTube. Now that I've been into it after about 555, just means change. 555 means it means that a change is on its way, or you need to all of these numbers in some sense or another mean that you really should refocus your attention to spiritual matters and to things that are important for your eternal life, if you want to put it in those terms. That's Yeah. Well, 555 that's a pretty common one. So that's like a course correction. You're going on, and it's not necessarily. It's like I. Things could maybe it's just like a lesson from a spiritual point of view, and not a religious spiritual, but just a spiritual point of view, minus religion. That there are lessons that we learn while we are here, and sometimes it takes a while to learn those lessons, and sometimes you're forever at the beginning. But maybe these the numbers are to alert your attention that you need to pay attention to your life. Just pay attention to things that are important. Like how you interact with other people, or how you interact with the world, how you interact with nature, or whatever. I don't really know, because for you it's different. Yeah, 6174. So I would just go into your Google and say 6174 meaning, and maybe it means something to you, maybe it doesn't. Like I say, I've never actually seen 999 before. Actually I have a few times, but mostly like in video game scores or in things like that, or or when I was eating a calorie restrictive diet, and I was counting every calorie and the nutrients and everything else. I would see 999 when I was adding up the weight, my food in grams and stuff like that. And that's back in the day when I had my blood sugar under control, still in the pre-diabetic range, but it wasn't as high as it is today. I often saw things like 888 or other numbers. I would add up a huge long column of figures, and they would turn out to be like 888, 888. And so I would have wanted to name the channel something like that. I just arrived at 999 because it it had no associations with 777, which was the 700 Club or something like that. I didn't really want it to. Anyway, that's kind of my thinking behind that. But that's why the 999, because of the angel number association. Okay, let's do. Okay. More titanium white. I should have bought 2 of these when they were on sale. Now I can see that I'm just going to be ripping through this this whole tube of white really fast. I think I want. Do I want to do that now? There's going to be no blue in the sky at all. It's just going to be yellow and a little bit of red. Do I want to go with the fluorescent red, or do I want to go with the... I think I'm going to go with this... you know what? In a numerology sense of the word, 666 stands for love. It's only within the context of Christianity that 666 means something, but really it only means something. Let's see if I got that book here. Give this stuff a rest, and I can go. That book on. I have that book on numerology here in my completely disorganized set piece down here. There, I think it's... I saw it here the other day. I used to get really alarmed by that number, and I used to really get alarmed by that number 666. I don't anymore, but I still get kind of nervous when I see it because I think I've talked about my superstitions that I've had in the past. I'm going to work on this color. I'm not going to take that color straight like this. I'm going to add a bunch of this yellow to it. I'm not going to put it throughout the whole sky. So let's just take all of this yellow and mix it in with this this magenta here. So it's kind of an orangey color. I'm just gonna put it in right on the horizon here. I'm not gonna really put it any place else. It's one on the horizon. Most of this, of course, is gonna get covered up. And take a layer of the white and lay it on top of here. All the way across here. Come in here with some of this. A little bit more of this. We're going to roll it up here. Yeah, but you know, the thing is, zero. One of the things is there's that number which gets so popularized by literature, you know, movies and scary movies and all of that, and we kind of give it a power that it doesn't really deserve. But I don't know. I'm going to come into here. Sleepwalking. I've never done that before that I know of. So what is that experience of sleepwalking even like? So we put it in here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't know. It's like, you know, if you look at like a lot of cultures, they have devils, but not. I mean, okay, in Christianity, the devil as we know it didn't really exist until about 1,500 years ago. I think it's kind of more of an invention of the church. It's more of a church invention in order to control people more than anything else. We use that as a thing. However, it's not to say that there isn't evil in the world. That's I would never say that, because all evil in this world has its genesis on our own in humanity, and so we got that start of those colors being in there like that. And it does seem like there is a battle between good and evil, but I think it's, I don't know. I really don't know. You know, all we can speculate about this stuff all day long, and in actuality, you're never going to get anywhere on it. So, in one sense, maybe I don't know. Maybe it may be a waste of time just to sometimes to give it too much energy. I don't know. But it's not a waste of time to. Okay, I'm gonna go dry this up just a little bit here. I have paranormal stories, yes. I have one, and I actually posted one of those stories on my channel, but the lady who owned the business that I wrote about, her hotel, which is a haunted hotel that my sister stayed at and had a an experience with a haunting, wanted me to take the story down. And so I'm not going to talk about the exact place, but you know, I'm on my place that sells my art. There's a hotel right up my they say the place is haunted, but I have seen ghosts before, and when I lived in this one apartment, it was the first place I lived in after I graduated from college. And I would swear that place was haunted. And it was haunted with, in my bedroom, I couldn't sleep in the place that was my bedroom because the spirit there haunted my dreams. And if I just slept in the next room over, so that's when I got into like things like icons. I bought icons, things like this, and I have other ones. I have a lot of icons, religious icons, and in order to sleep in that room, I had an exorcism done on the place. I had a crucifix on every wall. I had the whole place was loaded. I had it loaded with icon art, Christian art, and things like that, and it was just because like this one time I was in there, I saw a ball of light moving across the floor. Cause it was like right in the middle of the room, and it wasn't like this was a shadow or anything. It was just an orb of light that was moving around the room. And I've tried to explain it now. And my mom, who doesn't really believe in any of that kind of stuff, even though she stayed in that haunted hotel and had some experiences there with it, that was, you know, a paranormal an experience. When I was with this one gal, the only person I ever proposed to, I will not say her name. That was like a paranormal experience. I started having visions of that person. I didn't exactly see girl exactly. I just knew that she was blonde, and I had a rough idea of what she looked like. There was just somebody that I was going to meet. I graduated from college in 1994, and this was in 1994, a long time ago. And I think this is starting to have that effect. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just kind of and then my spiritual experiences, or like what you might call, sometimes they call them transpersonal experiences. Those things started when I was like 3 years old, and so I have for a lot of years I just ignored it and then I learned how to shut that stuff down, and um, when I worked at the casino for those nearly almost a decade, and worked in alcohol service, I was actually able to shut all of that stuff down. And then in the pandemic, most of that stuff came back to a certain degree. My but of course, after Dad died, I saw him in the house once or twice. Usually when spirits come in the house, I just tell them to go away. Generally that's what I do, because I really don't want spirits in my house. Yeah, yeah. There are people who do that. They're usually more charismatic elements of the Catholic Church that does things like exorcisms and things like that. I need to take a look at this and see where I'm at. I think the colors are starting to work together. I think at the point where I can start adding that. Yeah, it's got a lot of different. I might do just another layer of like the yellow, white, and that red tone, so it'll have. Um, I think that's what I'll do, and then I'll do another layer of white and yellow on top of that. I think that'll be pretty good here. But we might do it with just a slight bit different of a brush, and give it that more of this square earth tone. I want to try that. I think I will try that, because it'll just have just a bit different kind of a feel as far as the just a different feel for. Maybe we'll use some of this opaque titanium white, just a little bit of that. Yeah. Well, Azuru, I'm not so sure that these ghosts and spirits are actually that's what they are. I kind of think that they might just be um, echoes of a person who was once alive, was once here. But I really don't. I'm not any authority. I just have a. That's just kind of has been the thought that I've had in the last couple years. An echo. I think I'm going to mix some gel medium down, or maybe some of that glazing fluid in with this. I think I'll do that. These are all things that you add into acrylics that make so you can get your acrylics to behave like oil paints. Oil paints you cut with like turpentine and chemicals, and they can have some really nasty. People can get some really nasty effects in time. Oh crap! I didn't want that much. Shoot! I have to put that. All right. Where's my All right. That's no good. Yeah. So glazing fluids are things you use, and gel medium and things you use with your paints to get acrylics to behave like oils. And to slow the drying process down. And okay, all right. Okay, that's what we're going to do here. It doesn't at all zero. It doesn't at all. Because if you want to look at, like, you may not believe in the Christian God, but that doesn't necessarily mean no, if you look at like the founding fathers of this country, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, and many of the other ones, they were classified as what they called deist. And these deists, many of them, they went to the Unitarian Universalist Church, and if they went to church at all. And so a lot of these Enlightenment thinkers, they would probably be like agnostics, maybe even atheists in our time, in our day and age. But a lot of them believed that there was this force that started the universe and got it setting in motion, and then took a step away, and then that was it, and then didn't really, the word, this God wasn't really there affecting change in our world. That's kind of how a lot of the founding fathers of the United States believed. And but that doesn't mean that they didn't not believe in some, but they probably didn't, but who knows. But to believe in a paranormal or in a spirit world, or that there were like other dimensions, or that is this world a simulation that we're living in, or whatever. So I don't really think that what you feel, zero, is a contradiction. I don't think it's a contradiction at all. But you can think about it for several more years, and maybe you will arrive at a better, a different conclusion. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I don't know. Does that help any? I'm just gonna put this in. It's kind of like a fire in the sky type of an effect. But another thing, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I'm not here offering guidance or saying what you believe is right or wrong. I am not here to do that at all, because I am not you. And all these different colors in here. Hmm. I'm gonna put these colors in the edges here. I don't know if I want to put it too much over there. Just a little bit over here. Kind of like that square. Wish I had a square or brush. Yeah, well, I need something different here. I mean, I made a mess of my little palette board. Oh, that's quiet here. I'm gonna mute this for a second. You should go check out channel a YouTuber called Paul Wallis. PALLWALLIS. He's running on the ancient alien theory, but you might actually find his content interesting. I think it's kind of interesting, but let's see how this works here, in helping get that look of it being layers upon layers to get that light effect. The sunrise, sunset. I think it will. It'll do just that. Yeah, I know, but that doesn't, I don't know that I believe that aliens built the pyramids. I think that people did. You got to give give humanity some credit for being able to figure things out. Aliens could be gods, but People figure out lots of things, man. Go be techie. Paul Wallace with the ancient alien theories and stuff like that. It's interesting. I think this is starting to come together, man. Yeah, I can tell you an explanation behind that one. They think that it's buried right underneath Iceland. Not Iceland, but Greenland. That there's a spot on Greenland where they think that a part of a comet or an asteroid slammed into an ice shelf there about 12,000 years ago. And so what we have is we have all these stories. We have all these stories about a flood that is in all over the world. There are stories about a flood, and it may be that there was a flood, and that flood happened roughly 12,000 years ago. And so what happened is that you had, but it may not have happened instantly, and it may not have been worldwide. It may have been partially worldwide, but there's like two different things going on here that. So if you look in the Genesis stories, and you have a flood, you have the Tower of Babel, you have Sodom and Gomorrah. I think that all three of those stories are talking about the same thing. Now, of course, a strict biblical Christian or whatnot will say that I'm completely blasphemous for saying this, but that the Tower of Babel, people came together and they built this tower to go reach up to the sky. Everybody spoke the same language, and then God struck down the tower, and the tower collapsed and scattered the people across the whole earth and gave everyone a different language. That's the Tower of Babel. Sodom and Gomorrah is that there was these cities that God didn't like because they were very sinful people, and then he sent an angel to get the righteous people out, which was Lot and his family, and then those were the only righteous people who escaped the city. Then the place was fire bombed with fire and brimstone, and those cities were destroyed. Then you have the flood, which talked about a civilization that was corrupt, and God sent a flood and destroyed this civilization. So what if that civilization was the same civilization, but what happened was a asteroid or a comet slammed into the earth, and there was a civilization that maybe it wasn't really super advanced, but there in the Plato thing that about 12,000 years ago, the Atlantean civilization was destroyed. So maybe the Tower of Babel is a reference to the Atlantean civilization. Sodom and Gomorrah is a reference to the Atlantean civilization, and the Noah's flood, the corrupt world, was a reference to the Atlantean civilization, that it was destroyed 12,000 years ago. But that wasn't the only one that was destroyed. There were other ones destroyed. There were the Babylonian flood story myth, that was destroyed too. The Epic of Gilgamesh, that place was destroyed too at the same time. In the Black Sea area, there is evidence that there was civilization that sits at the bottom of that sea, that maybe it was a small lake and then it filled in, and maybe it filled in like 12,000 years ago. And then in the Americas, there's all kinds of things, past civilization, mounds and pyramids and things that once existed on the eastern seaboard of the United States. And so the idea of a comet, because there's also evidence, it's at the fringes, it's really at the fringes, that there's this thin layer of a sediment that goes back around 12,000 years that is normally associated with something that hits the atmosphere and like a meteor or something like that, but it um, exists in multiple places all around the world, mostly in the northern hemisphere. And if a rock hit Greenland, an ice shelf in Greenland, there may not be a crater. A crater may not exist because it hit an ice shelf, and then the ice shelf rapidly melted off. But what also happened at the same time is you have massive volcanic eruptions that occur. So what you have is flood. You have fire and brimstone raining down on different places. So you have like what may seem like a whole continent gets flooded out, but it's just the sea levels come up like 300 feet. I think that's what they believe the sea levels were 12,000 years ago. They were 300 feet lower than they are today. So there was 300 feet. Maybe it didn't happen instantly. Maybe it happened over 1,000 years. But nevertheless, there was sea level rise of 300 feet that occurred around 12,000 years ago. So anyway, that's my soapbox rant that I'm talking about for that. And but who knows if any of this is true? You know, we don't know. You don't know, and nobody knows. Nobody knows anything for sure. All they can do is speculate. But sometimes speculation is fun. Yeah, yeah. And so after a big flood like that, it would knock things down. Civilization was more advanced, and now then it took another 10,000 years for everything to come back. Put this in here. Maybe a little of this yellow. I want to make sure it doesn't turn to mud. I didn't dry that layer out enough. There's a lot of that red in there. All right, Zero. Paul Wallace, and then see if you can find the book Fingerprints of the Gods by Graham Hancock. Fingerprints of the Gods it's a thick book, but it's a real fun read. I think it's interesting. I read all this kind of stuff. Yeah, so yeah, that one that's a great book. Now, of course, he's milked these theories for all they're worth, and so I wouldn't really bother with any more of the later stuff. That Fingerprints of the Gods is his best piece of work. Paul Wallace is really worth listening to. Anyway, I'll see you later. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit, and have a great day at school tomorrow. All right, bye. Good night. I'm gonna turn this on. I don't want to blast out your ears. All right, got that back on, and so where are we at? I need to stand up and take a look at what I've done so far. And we're still working on the layers of the sky. I'm almost there. I think one more thin layer of white. A thin layer of white, and I think that I'm going to start putting in the sun. I think I'll start doing that. And then we'll be putting some of these colors all back in over it. I think I do want that sun right over. I want the brighter part to come in right out over here. I'm going to run it right on the horizon too. So this has a lot of energy in it, a lot of power going out that way and out that way. And so yellow, more white, and then back in with a little bit more of that reddish color that I made, and reddish orangish color. And I think I need to clean a brush off. Yeah. I don't want that water to spill over everything. All right. Anybody have any good jokes to tell? Let's go back in over here. Well, I certainly did do a lot of talking that was worthy of that 999 number. Angel numbers and stuff. It's been a fun night, actually. Do I want to go with a different one? Yeah, let's go to this brush now. I apologize for the pause right now. I'm just cleaning off my brushes before they dry up too much here. I'm going to be in on this painting for about another 15 to 30 minutes. Then I'm going to wrap it up for the night and be back at it tomorrow. And then I'm going to work on it again on maybe tomorrow, maybe back Sunday. I'm not sure. I'm going to do some white, some more white. I'm over here adding a layer of white. So the purpose, if you're just joining in, the purpose of, because this is what the underpainting was this color. The purpose here is adding layers, and I've said this 3 times tonight already. Adding layers adds depth. The more layers of paint you have, the farther back the sky goes. And I'm using this tapping method for in order to gain a randomness, a random feel. I think I'm gonna tilt the camera just a little bit like this, and my tarot card is getting in the way. Everything's getting in the way over here. So I'm gonna run it over like this, so you can see more of this. Okay, there we go. lay this color in. Different perspective. Don't want to just lay that color down in the exact same spot every time. Lots of different colors now. This is mostly gel medium. Let's add some more white to it. I got the white going on everywhere. Everywhere there's all this white. White man, yeah. Okay, this paint's getting in a little bit too muddy on here. I've reached that point where it's too wet, and it's time to dry the surface down just a little bit. If you were just painting on this on your own, you would just walk away right now. You would walk away for like a half an hour and just let it dry. Before coming back into it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to let it set for half an hour. I am just going to get my old trusty hairdryer out and give it another blast of air. Another blast of air. Okay, still a little bit too wet there. So there's these other buttons. I know nobody likes being told to push buttons. Just put that away. I don't need that. Not there anymore. I don't need this red over here. Okay. All right. Let's see about it. I'm just looking at it to see what I need to do next. Okay. 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 I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the heavy-bodied titanium white. This is an opaque titanium white. I'm actually going to put it directly onto the canvas itself. I'm going to run a different brush on, and I'm going to build where the sun is coming up in relation to the horizon. A spot, and I'm going to put it right here. I'm just going to put it in here. It's going to come in here, down in like this. It has a different energy texture altogether than what is already there, so we're going to probably have to rebuild the entire cloud structure. I'm just going to roll it clear across the sky this way. A lot of this is just going to be covered up by ground, but we're going to do that, and it's going to spend a lot of time just making a random background in the background back there. And now I just run that whole thing to hell. Okay. And the sun itself, I think it will be right about here. I'm just going to move it. I'm going to move this color all around here. I need to go back and put the white spot in there. It'll probably just be a small white spot. So I'm not going to really worry about too much about this. We have a little bit of red in here. I'm going to put that red in here. It looks very haphazard if you really started from the beginning and you're thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? He spent all that time pounding all that color in just to paint over it. Yep, I did. I'm going to make it into this kind of a shape here. Kind of a squarish tone. It's going to sort of blend out. Now, what are we going to do? I need a different color that I do not have it in that golden open. Is this color. I'm going to put some of this in here. If I can get it out of the tube. I see that the paint's starting to break down. I need a different brush. That one, no, let's use this one here. So, this paint is on the edge of being too old. When it starts to get kind of this lumpy quality to it, you can see it over here in this one too. So these paints don't last forever. I'm going to put this in here. It will make it more brilliant. This is a reflective color. I'm going to pull it all the way across the page. Make an exaggerated big white sun on the horizon there. I'm going to use more of this stuff in the sky. We need some more red. And go back in with that opaque white. I'm looking at this, needing to blend this into that. I need to blend this reality into that reality in order to make this to be a whole. Make it a whole image. Sometimes the path to finding that is not altogether clear. Part of me wants to go use some of this fluorescent magenta on here. And I think I'm going to use just a tad bit. I'm just going to paint it, put it right directly onto the brush, and use a little bit of it. And we're going to put it, just put it right in here. So it's just right on the horizon. I might come back to it later. All the way over the edge. All the way over the edge. It's in here. Over here. Clean it off the brush by adding it in. More of that fluorescent yellow. I think I'm just going to put this in the sky. In different spots and places. Just to get some continuity to what was there before. The drum beat of the brush. Creating the tapestry of night and day. I'm going to blend that in. Using the randomness in order to create that effect. Randomly accessed poetics. Random poetry. Random colors. Of course, they're not random colors. Making depth. sky feel like it goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. That's the feeling I'm trying to manifest right now. A feeling of a sky that goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. It kind of does, doesn't it? The layers of color in there. May have any more of that gel medium here. Goes on and on and on. It's heaven and hell. Ronnie James Dio. I saw Ronnie James Dio before he passed away in 2008. It was in a concert in Seattle. The convention center was Q West Convention Center, right under the Seattle Key West Field. That's where the Seahawks play. It was right there, right in that spot where the Seahawks play. I need to take some of this color and run it directly onto the I need like a filbert or something like that. Yeah, we'll use this brush here. I'm gonna put that here. You know what? I gotta dry this canvas off a little bit. It's too wet, so I'm gonna give the I'm gonna give it the old hair dryer treatment one more time. All right. Alright, everybody disappeared. Okay. Sun's going to put it right there. Oh, can you see it? Yeah, there you go. My whole set's falling apart. Everything's sliding down. Had it really nice the other day. There's a little spot here. The sun's at. Nice bright spot in the sky. Sunset, you'd see it just like this. Maybe. It's a lot of brilliant color. I have that picture someplace that I took on Waikiki at sunset. That's good. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but maybe we will try to make it more like a circle. Big old white brilliant spot coming out here. We'll layer in around it some fluorescent white, or fluorescent yellow, which is also very bright. You can have the effect, I want it to have the effect that it is super bright to look at, like it almost hurts your eyes to look at this in this spot. And you can get that by doing this effect like this. It's all an illusion, you know. It's all just an illusion. So we're just going to use up this last bit of this paint here, and I'm going to put it in here so we look at it. It's really super bright. Super bright. Trying to get it to be a little smoother. I should probably use my finger to smooth it out. I think I'll do that. Put a little bit more on here. And I'll just make it into a more ovally shape. Okay, we'll do that. The old finger here. Kind of helps take out the brush strokes a bit. Tomorrow, I'm going to start back in with this thing. I'll do more sky. Right now it looks like shit. Looks like hell. But we will work to mold it all together, but the paint is too still just a bit too wet. And we got this other yellow. Just gonna put that in there too. Kind of I'm gonna use up this paint. Uh-oh. That I didn't want that to happen. I wonder if I can lift that off. I think I can lift it off. Uh-oh. Well, anyway, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't want that. Crappo wappo. Crappo wappo. I'm going to lift it off a bit. Blend it in. Well, we're just going to work it into it then. Oh, man, you come for a masterpiece and you leave with a disaster piece. That's what you got here is a fucking disaster. Sorry about the language. Disaster piece. Jesus. I was doing so good, too. Okay, all right. I didn't want to do that, but all right. We did it. We'll just have to. I had such a good thing going there. Yeah, those colors are in the sky too, but oh, Billy fucking boy. Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry about my language. Now that's the first time I dropped the F-bomb on this channel. It's the first time I dropped the F-bomb on this channel, you know? We'll fix it tomorrow. Fix it tomorrow. We'll add this in here. Fix it tomorrow. Fix it tomorrow. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Oh. Fix it later. You can fix this stuff, you know. Can I add some more gel medium on there? I got some. Let's use the gel medium. Hello, Kirk. Yeah, I know, it's a crying shame. This is one of your canvases, you know. One of these canvases you donated. Let's put a little of this on here, a little of this gel medium. I should have shaken this stuff up. Explosion of color. You're up awfully late, aren't you, Kirk? Maybe it'll work. I don't know. We're going to have another layer of paint going over the edge. And I think I can blend the backgrounds together, and I think it'll work. So, I'm not going to do any more tonight because I've done enough damage to it. But you know what? I might make it more, end up making it more dynamic here. So, here's what we're looking at. I got my little mistake. Wasn't expecting to do that. There it is. Crying shame. It's a crying shame, buddy. It's a crying shame. Oh my God. Can't believe that I did that. Well, you get reality when you tune into this show. That's what you get. When you live stream, you watch somebody live streaming a painting, sometimes you get this. mistake like this. One little mistake and you ruin the whole damn thing. But it's fixable. By Saturday, when I turn the camera on, 9 p.m. on Saturday night, this will be a whole totally different sky. The sky will be completely fixed by Saturday at 9 p.m. So that's the next time I'm going to be doing painting. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. I'm going to take a break and do something else, and I'm going to tackle my box of Legos, which I have not too far away. We're going to do some Lego building. But I probably will do a pop-up tomorrow afternoon, and I'm going to fix that sky, and I probably will do it off camera too. That's probably what I'll do, is I'll do it off camera. But I might show you how to fix a mistake like that. Still can't believe I did it. Gosh, damn it. God damn it. God damn Bill. But you know, there's... Jesus. I don't know. Alright, I'm going to call it quits for the night. Like the video if you do. If you don't worry about it. I'll understand if you don't like it. If you support my channel, you know, if you like reality, this is reality. This is a reality painting show going on right now. This is real stuff. Real stuff. And you'll see, you saw it, you were there witness to the real stuff happening, where I, just some random guy on the internet, made a bad mistake. Alright, that's all I got for you, folks. Bye-bye. And thank you, Zero, and thank you, Oliver, thank you, Kirk. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. Thank you, Doggo. Thank you, Jacker. Thank you, Log21. Thank you for saying hello in the chat. Staying around for a few minutes. And Mia Ator, welcome. I'm just about ready to say goodbye for the night. And I will be coming back tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, for something else. And I'll finish this work more on this painting on Saturday night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The same time as like Seattle and San Francisco. Those two same. And thank you. And I'm gonna turn the camera off and pray about how to fix this mistake. Damn, I can't believe I did that. Bye.